Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week where we do what we were originally intended to do, and we try and tackle the cryptic crossword of the day from the Times, which apparently is a very tricky one again, which I love on Fridays. So keep them coming, Jason. Do definitely keep them coming. This one today is by James McGaughey, and let's have a look at the statistics. And we have got, so the first 5 there are all typists, so these are not real times. But then we have Matthew Marcus in there at 7:29, which will be a long time actually for Matthew, who actually, that reminds me, I need to congratulate Lily, that's Liam Hughes, came I think 3rd in last year's Cryptic Times Championship. But there are actually, goodness, there are very few very quick times at all. Let's just take a quick look further down. Oh my goodness, Tom Stubbs is a really good solver. 19 minutes. Oh my goodness. Hang on, let's see, let's go for, okay, so you can get, that's Chloe. Chloe's made an error today. That's terrifying. Dean's made an error. Loads of errors from very good solvers, goodness. And you can get in the top 100 with 2 errors at the moment. Which is a quite terrifying thought. But anyway, I should mention before we kick off that last weekend there was this inaugural World Cryptic Crossword Championship. And this is a very strange story, very, very strange story. So on the Sunday, there was what's called the Team Championship. So the organisers selected, I think it was one person from each country to sort of fight for their country in the team championship. So obviously for England we had Mark Goodliffe, and I think America had Matthew Marcus, and I'm trying to think who else might be familiar names to anybody watching these videos. Anyway. But I think predictably enough, the winner was Mark. Well done, Mark. And the final was really interesting because it was done as a sort of game show. So the top competitors, John Henderson came 3rd, I think. And John Henderson, whose puzzles I battle with regularly in these Friday videos. So John came 3rd. And anyway, so John was on stage. I think Colin Thomas came 2nd. Mark, and then there was an Australian representative. I think an Indian representative. I'm going to forget someone here, and that's awful. I'm not sure. Anyway, there were 6 people on stage. And the way it worked was that they worked their way steadily through 2 puzzles, but clue at a time. So if it was my turn, I would get a look at a clue. And then if I got it right, I think I got 10 points. But if I couldn't do it, it would go on to the next in the 6. And so it went like that. And I don't know, I've got a lot of issues. With the format as a way of deciding who is the best solver, but I do think that I understand the constraint, and the constraint being, okay, we want something that people either on the internet or there in person can watch, and it's more of a spectacle than watching somebody just fill in a piece of paper. But there must be a better way. We've got to go, I think, towards a more, perhaps an American system in the US Crossword Championship, where people are on whiteboards in front of everyone with headphones on, which create white noise, and then there's commentary. I could get behind that. Or I had another idea, which might be that you have sequential solves. So perhaps the person in 3rd position would solve first with headphones and camera over their page. And so they would do it, and there could be commentary on that. And then the 2nd place person would then try that same puzzle, but having obviously not seen it. But then it would give the audience a chance to see how people solve the same puzzle differently. And then and then the first ranked person from the preliminary rounds would then have the advantage of knowing perhaps how fast they had to be to win the overall competition. So there would be a genuine advantage coming from their performance in the earlier rounds, which doesn't exist at the moment in the Times Crossword Championship, for example. It's just a shootout for the top few players. Anyway, I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry. Anyway, well done to Mark. Well done to everybody really who took part on stage. That must be a bit nerve-wracking. But I said I should congratulate Matthew, because the day before the team championship, they had the individual world championship, which was an online thing, so you could enter this from anywhere in the world. And that was two puzzles as well. And I have no idea how, but I came second in that to Matthew. I think there must have been some marking error, but that is actually what happened. So I know some of you won't believe it. I barely believe it myself. But I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, we can scroll. So here, the grid one winners, Colin Thomas, he's phenomenally quick. He's so much quicker than I am. Eric Agard, who is a previous winner of the US Crossword Championship. Mark came third in Puzzle 1. And then grid 2, apparently I came first. That cannot be right. Matthew Marcus, Dean Short, Dean's a super solver. He's much better than I am. And then somehow it all evened out and I came second. Now, so ludicrous, quite ludicrous, but a very, very worthy champion, frankly. Matthew is phenomenally fast, and I think deserving. I guess Mark might have made an error. I don't know, but Matthew and Mark and Colin and people like that, they're phenomenal solvers, and Matthew is a worthy world champion. And if we just go, let's go to the top 100 at the moment on the Cryptic leaderboard and ignore the typists. That's Liam Hughes there at 13, but Verlaine's going to be here somewhere, definitely. There we go. Super quick. Where's little old me? Oh goodness, I've made a few errors recently. Here we go. So 49, 5 errors. Terrible. We'll gloss over that. And move swiftly on. Anyway, that's just a bit of news from the world of cryptic crosswords. And is there anything else to mention? Not really. If you do enjoy the videos, I say this every week, normally at the end, but please do like and subscribe. I know that is a trite and cliched thing that YouTubers say, but for us, these videos do not tickle the algorithm's tummy, and I really wish that they did, because these puzzles are phenomenal. And wouldn't it be lovely if the World Championship of Cryptic, if Cryptic Crosswords did gain more profile in the world? Because I genuinely believe that so many more people would get pleasure out of these if they knew about them and if they knew how to solve them. And yeah, well, anyway, with that, let's get cracking. Right, one across, 5 letters. Measure across diameter using compasses. Measure across diameter using compasses. That's beautifully worded. I don't know the answer. Now, remember, I'll say this every week and I'll keep saying it. Every one of these clues contains a straight definition of the answer that we're going to enter. So this is a 5-letter word, and normally the definition in the clue is either going to be at the start or the end. So we might be looking for a 5-letter word that means measure, or means compasses, or it could be measure across, or using compasses. And the way I read, it's difficult actually to know quite what this is doing. I thought it might be a hidden at the start, because if something compasses something, I think at least in one sense it can mean to encompass, to include. So I wondered whether the string of letters, diameter using, might contain the answer. But T-E-R-U-S, terus, I don't think it does. I think I've got that wrong. So let's try another way of reading it. So I've talked about the fact there's a definition in the clue. You might say, well, what's the rest of the clue doing then? Well, that's going to be wordplay. Wordplay that specifies the recipe for creating the word that is the answer. So measure across diameter might mean that we're looking for, say, a 4-letter word that means measure, and that's going across or around diameter. Now, diameter, I think, can be D. I think. I'm not certain about that. Again, we talk about this every week, but an abbreviation has to be supported by the dictionary. Maybe actually I shouldn't check, because I'm not certain that D can be diameter. But if D can be diameter, it needs to be supported by the dictionary, i.e. when we put D into the dictionary as a word or a head word, we'll see listed under D as a possible abbreviation the word diameter. But if that was right, if it was measure, a word for measure around D, then the definition would be using compasses. And compasses were those things that we used to draw circles with at school. Or, okay, I've got another idea. Could it be a 5-letter word which means measure across? And D is in the middle of a word that means using. Using as in, perhaps using as in a drug set. If you use as in you're a user of a drug, you are you're addicted, I don't know. I think I've nearly got that one, but my brain isn't telling me the answer. Naughty brain. All right, let's try 4 across. 2, 7. Rat with cat coming over is first to disappear. Oh. Rat with cat is first to disappear. That's another brilliantly worded clue, and I think one of the things that I'm immediately struck by with both 1 across and 4 across is that even though I have a reasonable amount of experience with these puzzles, I am far from sure I know what the definition is, and that is a big thing in a cryptic crossword. I would say most cryptic crosswords I could read the clues and be very confident about the definition at probably 80% of the time, which obviously helps with solving the puzzle, but I can't with both 1 and 4 across. I am not sure. Maybe let's try 1 down. We get a lot of starting letters if we can get this. 10 letters. Sinister case of woman developing chill. Okay, I have an idea about this one. Again, beautifully worded though. The sinister case of the woman developing the chill. It evokes, it's almost a sort of Sherlock Holmesian type plot within how many letters of that clue? 6. That's very, very nice. But how could we read this from make your decision as well. What do you think the definition is here? Do you think it's sinister? Do you think it's sinister case? Do you think it's chill? Do you think it's developing chill? I think it's chill. And the way I'm reading the recipe part of it, the word sinister is 8 letters. The case of the word woman would be its sort of first and last letters, if you like, W and N. And if those 8 letters of sinister plus W plus N are developing, if you develop a picture, you sort of create it, don't you? So I'm wondering if we have to anagram sinister WN to create a word that means chill. And that word is chill. I don't know. I haven't got it. But I feel that at least I might have had it. That might be correct. Let's try 2. Oh, I was going to try 2 down. 3 letters. Complete time period, say. Complete time period, say. I mean, the only thing I'll mention here is that... Oh no, I have got... Oh, goodness me. Okay, I was about to tell you something all about the way not to solve this clue. The word say is very important in cryptic crossword land because it almost always indicates that you're looking for a homophone. So when I saw this clue, I thought we were going to be looking for a word that meant complete, but that word would sound like a time period. So a time period might be a day or an eon or an era. And if you spell a word that sounds the same, if you like, differently, I'm trying to think of a good example. Hole and hole, we'll use that. The word whole, H-O-L-E, sounds exactly the same as the word whole, W-H-O-L-E, but they have completely different meanings. So that's an example of a homophone. That's what I thought was going on here. It's not. It's not. We have to cut the clue here after the word time. Complete time, period, say. And even then, it's not necessarily easy to work out which side the definition is. But actually, it's period, say. And a punctuation mark, the period is a full stop, isn't it? And that is a dot. And if you complete something, you do it. And T is an abbreviation for time. I think Newton's laws of motion, V equals U plus AT and things like that. Let's have a look. It is there we go. T equals time. So dot. We've got one. Let's return to one across. Measure across diameter. The measure across something, is it using compasses? Oh, I still don't know that. Let's try 9 across. 9 letters. Of course, you recover after turning brown. Oh, I've got this one. This is a bit of text speak in here. Okay, again, make your decision. What do you think the definition is? If you said it was of course, well done, you're right, it is. This is a 9-letter word that means of course. And the way I got that was the phrase at the end, actually, turning brown. If we're thinking of a recipe, if we're trying to read the clue as a recipe, what might the phrase turning brown mean? Well, it means think of a word for brown, preferably a short one, and turn it round. And if you thought of the word tan and turned it round, you could get nat. And if we're looking for a word that means of course, beginning with nat, it's not too difficult to think of naturally. You is text speak for the word you, and if you recover, you rally. So naturally is the answer. And we've got a Y, look, in 5 down. So let's have a look at that. 5 letters. Local chief, I've got an idea. Agreed men should have married first. Yeah, okay. Again, make your decision. What's the definition? And in terms of trying to work out which side of the clue might be the recipe, anything that's indicating position or moving stuff about or taking away a letter or cutting a word or anything like that, that's all recipe. So, married first. That word first there seems to be indicating something about position. So it's probably the other side of the clue that's the definition. Local chief. Now if you thought of mayor, you were right. Because if something is if you agreed with something, you'd say I, A-Y. Men, other ranks, O-R. Now let's talk about this because this leads to a lot of confusion. There are an absolute multitude of 2-letter abbreviations in cryptic crosswords for various parts of armed forces. and soldiers. And the only way to find out about all of these is basically experience. I will list some of them for you now. OR, other rank. Let us actually look it up because it's so weird. OR, it is a logic circuit, but it is also other ranks here. So men here is being used as a euphemism for soldiers. How are the men getting on type thing. But other abbreviations. RE, the Royal Engineers. RA, the Royal Artillery. Now I'll forget. You might see GI for an American soldier. Sometimes you might see ME and things like that as well. I think military engineers. Anyway, there's all sorts of short synonyms for soldiers. Just be aware of that. So here we've got AY, OR should have married first. Well, married, if you saw it on a family tree, I think M dot means married. And so if we were to go, oh, what have I done there? I didn't mean to do it, whatever it was. If we go here and press M, we will find married as an abbreviation. Yeah, there it is. Here. So should we have a look at 4 across again? Well, we've got an M now. The rat with the cat. Second letter begins with M. Second word begins with M. Rat with cat coming over is first to disappear. Go missing would work. That's probably right. It's got sing in it. If you rat on someone, if you tell tales to the police, you sing on them, don't you? So go missing, I quite like as a possibility here. Rat with cat coming over is first. Oh, Mog. Mog, as in a Moggy, is a cat. Now, let's just make sure we understand. Yeah, okay, goodness me. You have to be very careful. Cryptic clues must be precise. So it's no use sort of doing hand waving, say, oh yeah, it feels about right. It must be a very precise recipe. So it must be possible grammatically to read the clue and say, I understand exactly why this sequence of pieces is correct, why the recipe is in this order. Now, rat is sing. And that goes with cat coming over, that's Mog reversed, is, that's this is, first. So Mog reversed is comes first before the rat, and that's how the grammar works to indicate go missing. And now at last we might have a chance. Let's go back. We haven't actually looked at it. 4 down, 9 letters beginning with G now. A legal act I condemn involves kicking superstar. That's made me think about Diogo Jota. As a Liverpool fan, that was absolutely horrendous news. What a guy as well. Anyway, put that out of your brain, Simon. Illegal act I condemn involves kicking superstar. Involves kicking superstar. Illegal act I condemn. An illegal act. What am I not thinking of here? And again, I should take my own advice. What side of the clue is the definition here? I don't know. Involves kicking superstar is weird. I mean, that makes me think we have to put somebody who's a kicking superstar inside I condemn. I sort of want it to mean an illegal act. Gold. No. I'm not sure actually. Should we just try another one? Embarrassing. 6 down. 6-2. Break down resistance of sun frequently in court. Okay, well this one is easier. This is definitely easier. Again, make your decision. Which side of the clue is the definition? If you thought it was in court, nope. Break down is what we need to be looking for here, or break down resistance actually. So the word of, sometimes I like to talk about recipes. Sometimes I like to think of the clues as equations. People think that cryptic crosswords are, the domain of people who are very literary. I actually think they appeal a lot to people who are mathematically minded as well, because they're very, very logical. And you can read the clues like equations. So here, what we've got is X, breakdown resistance, equals, which is the word of, because we are making the word or the phrase that means breakdown resistance out of sun. Sun can be abbreviated to S. If you do something frequently, you do it often. And if you're in court before the judge, you are up. You are up before the court. And soften up is to break down resistance. So that one was easier. Let's try 10 across. 5 letters beginning with F. Sudden blaze reported in particular faculty. Sudden blaze. Yeah, okay. So, where do we look at it? There was an early clue where I talked about homophones. And I said that the word say could indicate a homophone, because it indicates it's talking about something that's said, it's something spoken, so you might hear it. There are lots of other words that cryptic crossword writers use to indicate a clue might be a homophone. You might see we hear, or by the sounds of it, or one caught, because you catch things when you overhear them. Here we have about a fourth, fifth example. Reported. If something is reported to you, you would hear it. So here, the way this works is we're looking... Well, actually, this is an interesting one. Because which way round is it? Well, we're looking for a word that means a sudden blaze. That's really interesting, actually. I think you could read this either way round. So we're looking for a word that means sudden blaze. And we're also looking for a word that means particular faculty. And there are 2 words, both beginning with F, that sound the same. And that word, or those words, are flare. Now, flare, F-L-A-I-R, if you had a particular faculty or skill for doing something, you would have a flair for it. But a sudden blaze as in F-L-A-R-E, well, that would be a sudden blaze. So we are looking either for this or for this. Which one? Sudden blaze reported could be saying, okay, we're looking for a homophone of F-L-A-R-E because it's a sudden blaze that we overhear. But if we cut the clue after the word sudden, after blaze, reported in the word that means particular faculty, we could have a word that means sudden blaze. I think it's ambiguous, and therefore we are going to need this letter to determine what the answer is. So this is an R or an E. So 8 down, we really need some help from. Bind, grating that's twisted in the middle. Yeah, okay. So here we're looking for a word for a grating that's twisted in the middle. So it's a 4-letter word, so the middle 2 letters are going to be flipped over. And a grating is a grid. And if we flip the middle, we get gird. And a gird is in a girdle, I think. To gird is to bind. So I think we're looking for flare here. and it's the FLARE that we're overhearing. The sudden blaze is being overheard. So in is doing the duty of the equal sign there. That you could have read that the other way round. Thank goodness we could get 8 down. 7 down. 11 letters beginning with I. Under canvas, you'd say, one's not on it. One's not on it. I don't know what this is, but if you're under canvas, you're camping, aren't you? You're in a tent. Inattentive? In a tent. If one's... Yeah, I quite like that. I think that's right. I think it's very clever. In a tent. Oh no, I'm wrong. Oh no, that's because I've spelt it wrong. Inattentive. Yeah. So again, it's a homophone. If you're under canvas, you're in a tent, which is here. In a, and then tent, double TENT. It would sound the same as in a tent. This spelling, and the "ive" at the end of the clue is synonymous with one's apostrophe. One's about to do this. Oh, I've got to do this. One's got to do this. One's and I've are synonymous. So the clue, the definition, is not on it, ? And if you're not on it, you're inattentive, aren't you? You're sort of lackadaisical. Very clever. Really like that. Now, let's try for 11 across. 6, 7. Funny wee fellow, turning 10 in October, has run ahead. Funny wee fellow, turning 10 in October, has run ahead. I haven't got a clue. I think this might be a funny wee fellow, like, oh, I hope it is. Is it Ronnie Corbett? I know Ronnie Corbett a little bit. Well, I knew him. Funny wee fellow. I think it's. I don't know how yet, but I think it's going to be Ronnie Corbett. And Ronnie Corbett and I used to play golf at the same golf club, and we were both. Ronnie lived on the edge of the course, and I lived about a mile away from the course, and that meant that I would often, after I used to work in the city, and if I got home on a summer's evening early enough, I would whistle down to the golf club at sort of 8 o'clock at night and play 3 or 4 holes, and I would very often bump into Ronnie, who he had a buggy at that point. He would go out with his dogs, and we would exchange a couple of words, and he was always completely charming. He was a very tiny man, but completely charming, very keen golfer, and yeah, I have very fond memories of that time. Certainly that golf club at that time. Anyway, sorry, I'm reminiscing. I'm going to put Ronnie Corbett in and hope it's right. Now, okay, how? Turning 10 in October. Is that just an anagram of 10 in... Oh, yeah, okay. So has run ahead. So 10 in October is probably 12 letters. It is. So if we turn the letters 10 in October, I bet you we can get Oni Corbett. and then we put an abbreviation for run, which is R, and that's from cricket scoring, ahead of our anagram, so at the front of it. And we get Ronnie Corbett, the funny wee fellow. That's lovely. Now let's go back and have a look at 4 down now. Illegal act. Oh, come on, Simon, you silly man. Why can't I get that? And what's a kicking superstar? Is that going to be Messi? Pele? Kicking superstar. I don't know. Have we looked at 3 down? No, 6 letters. Awful, in hospital, but possibly free. I was thinking of torrid there. But I don't think that's right. Awful? Oh, horrid. Yeah, it's probably horrid, isn't it? So I think it's a 6-letter word that means awful. And that's created out of, so it's equal to, the word in is being used there for an equal sign. H is an abbreviation for hospital, but possibly. I think but and or are probably synonymous. And if you free something of somebody of something, you rid them of it. So free and rid, that's very common in cryptic crosswords, those 2 words to be used synonymously. And that gives us horrid. Now, is this width then, measure across? Using, yeah, it is. It's beautifully worded. I should have got this, to be honest. It's not too difficult. And I almost had it. So if the measure across of something is its width, D for diameter, so that was right. And then using, I think with and using are synonymous. I did it with this, I did it using this, yeah. And that compasses, it includes it. So now, 1 down, this makes me think that my idea about sinister WN being the anagram fodder is probably right. Chill. Is it wintriness or something? It could be wintriness, actually. Wintriness. Is that a word? Wintriness. I think it is. I think that is the anagram fodder. Wintriness, like that. Chill, wintriness. They are synonymous, aren't they? So there we go. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. 14 across. 4 letters. Eat seconds of infected food and keep it down. That's brilliant. That's beautifully worded again. Make your decision. Which side of the clue is the definition? If you thought it was eat, you're right, it is. How does the wordplay work? How does the recipes work here? Well, seconds of infected food. What could that mean if we're trying to think about it cryptically? It means take the second letters of the words infected and food. N-O. And if somebody said to you in a library, keep it down, they could also have said to you, shh. Nosh is the answer. So, well, not nosh isn't the answer. So nosh is the answer. N-O plus sh. Nosh. Which of course is eat. To eat is to nosh. Right, let's try 12 down. 11 letters. Forecaster Nostradamus, it must be. Covering crazy techniques up with common sense. Well, common sense is nous. I haven't quite understood why, but I bet it's Nostradamus. Mad arts. Yeah, okay. So we've got crazy techniques, mad arts, up, reversed, which have been covered up with common sense, nous, around the edge. We're getting a visit from Maverick. It's going to fly over. Sorry about this. Let's try 18 across. 5-5. Keep gambling. Habit on winning this. Now, I apologise for the way I read that clue, which must, if you're new to cryptic crosswords, you must be thinking, why does he read like that? Is he sort of mentally deficient? Yes, I am. No, it's because these clues are not meant to be read as sentences if you want to solve them. Never read them as sentences. They're not sentences, they're recipes. And they're partial recipes, because there's going to be a definition in there that you have to separate. So that's why I read it in this sort of staccato manner. Keep gambling. Habit on winning this. Keep gambling. Habit on winning this. what about... Yeah, okay, I have got this. This is a brilliant wording, I think. Now, we see a question mark at the end of this clue. Question marks can mean lots of things. In fact, there's loads of... In fact, look at these. We've got loads of question marks. Question mark in 19. Question mark on that one. Question mark on this one. So we're about to get a flurry of question marks. But the question mark in this... One thing a question mark can mean... Oh, there's a question mark in that one as well. One thing a question mark can mean is... The whole clue is a cryptic definition. And that's what's happening here. We have to read this clue as a sentence. So having said that never read them as a sentence, we actually do have to here. And we've got to think about it very laterally. Keep gambling habit on winning this. Now, the only way I've solved this actually was I was trying to think of games you could win, and I had gambling going on in my brain. And I thought of strip poker. The sort of, you know, the less limber equivalent of naked twister. So strip poker, why is that? Why do I think it's the answer to this? Well, if you keep your habit, a habit in a sort of, in one sense, is your dress, isn't it? Habit and dress are synonymous. Let me just show you that. So in case that's a surprise. There we go, official or customary dress. So I think what this is, the way we're meant to read this, is we can keep the clothes that we were wearing when we were gambling on if we were winning this game. So if we were winning at strip poker, we would be able to keep our clothes on. It's really lovely. Oh my goodness, what is that then? What is that word? I don't know. Illegal act I condemn involves kicking superstar. I mean, this is simply a case of can you think of a word that fits, because that will be the answer. Illegal act I condemn. I condemn. Is there some sort of Latin for phrase for I condemn? A kicking superstar. Zico? I don't know. I don't know what that is talking about. I'm only going to get one more letter if I can get that one as well. Let's leave that one for later. Let's have a look at 17 down. Stretch tallest man on board for punishment. Stretch the tallest man on board. Is that referring to chess? Where I think the tallest chess piece would be the king. Yeah, that's right. So a stretch of time is a span of time. And then we put the tallest man on the board is the king, and spanking would be a punishment. And that looks good, doesn't it? So what have we got here? Donkey something? 21 across. National Theatre. 6-7, sorry. National Theatre distributes egg sandwiches. One nearly filling expert. A filling expert. That's going to be a dentist or something. Dental surgeon. Ooh, I like that. I don't know if it's right, but it fits. And a filling expert would be a dental surgeon. Look, the question mark there as well. To indicate, so here the question mark is saying you've got to really think laterally about this definition, because filling expert, you know, It can only be thought of as defining a dentist if you think about it quite laterally. So how does it work? National Theatre is probably NT. Distributes, deals. It's brilliant. It's beautifully worded. Right. So we've got NT, which is this N and this T. And then distributes is deals, as into deal cards. To egg is to urge. If you egg someone on, you urge them on. And that, so the deals egg, the deals urge, sorry, that distributes egg, sandwiches our national theatre. So it includes it in a sandwich of itself. So we've got deals urge around NT, and then one nearly is nearly all of the word one. So it's ON at the end. And that gives, and then we've got the filling expert defining the whole thing. That's very, very well worded indeed. Now we could try for 24 across, which has got an unusual finish. 5 letters. Implement for easing locks. One used for different purposes. Yeah, okay. So again, I think that James, as the writer of the clue, is trying to suggest there might be a tool that you can use to almost pick a lock. But locks, you get locks of hair, don't you? And an implement for easing your locks of hair, for untangling it, would be a comb. And then 1 is the Roman numeral for the number, or I, sorry, is the Roman numeral for the number 1. That gives the word combi. And I've heard of things like a combi boiler. And I think a combi boiler does like your central heating and your water, doesn't it? It does 2 things, so it's used for different purposes. So I think combi is what we need there. Now, 23 down, 4 letters. Fast cloud in which odd bits of ash could drop. Yeah. Okay. We see this occasionally in cryptic clues. The reference to odd bits of something, or evenly it might say, or it might say at regular intervals. Now what if you see phrases like that, what it means is look at the string of the letters and take the regularly occurring letters. So it might be the even letters or the odd letters. Now here we need to look at we need to take the odd letters of the phrase ash could and drop them out. In other words, we're only going to be left with the even numbered letters, so letters 2, 4, 6 and 8, and letters 2, 4, 6 and 8 are S, C, U and D, scud. And clouds scud, don't they? They scud across. So a fast cloud, I didn't know this. I know scud as in scudding clouds, but a scud must be a noun, meaning a fast cloud as well. I'm certainly not changing it, so should we check that? A fast cloud. I know it's a missile, but driving cloud, yeah. A swift runner is a scud in school slang. I've never heard that before. Right, let's have a look at 27, which looks like it wants to be design of something. 9 letters. Authentically Asian spiciness, reflected Eastern style. Authentically. Asian spiciness, reflected Eastern style. I don't know what that is. Designate? If you style something, do you designate it? Authentically Asian. Authentically. I don't know about this one. But the reason I quite like designate as the answer is I think if you style something, you designate it. And this has got tang reversed in it. Is Desi? Desi is a funny... Desi has got a meaning, hasn't it? Does that mean authentically? I'm not sure about that. But let's say that Desi, D-E-S-I, was an Asian phrase meaning authentically. Then, if that was true, spiciness reflected would be a reversal of the word tang, and Eastern can be abbreviated to E, and that would give us designate. So the only question is whether I'm comfortable, which I'm not, by the way, with authentically being Desi. It's ringing the vaguest of bells. I'm not committed to that yet. I'm going to check these letters are correct on the downs, and if they are, we'll check Desi. 22 down. Okay, well this is a crossword. This is a crossword word that you'll only really ever come up in cryptic crosswords, but it comes up surprisingly often. So the moment we see courts, we have to be thinking of the word atria, which is the plural of atrium. And I think hearts have atria. So courts are going to be atria. Cutting a hearing short. Well, a hearing is a trial. And if we cut the word trial, we'll just be left with tria. So atria. And that one at least is straightforward. So 25 across, 9 letters. Henry, halfway along, on a rope, within touching distance. Reachable? I don't know. Within touching different. Let's put reachable in. It's got cable somehow in it. Yeah, reachable is correct actually. So within touching distance is reachable. Henry is one of these. Didn't we have this last week? We had a Henry. A Henry was some unit of magnetic flux, wasn't it? Anyway, Henry can be H. And that's halfway along. Well, halfway along, it's now been put in the middle of a phrase that means on a rope, re a cable. So if something is on the subject of something, it's re it, R-E. So re a cable is 8 letters. Halfway along that, we add the H in, and we get reachable. I'm gonna double check that. Have I misremembered what a Henry is? A Henry is a unit of inductance. Oh. Electromotive force. Inductance. Isn't that something to do with magnetism? Or is it to do with just electricity? I know the two are very linked. Anyway, let's move swiftly on and see if orphan or urchin fit at 20 down. A poor kid. Oh, it's looking like... Oh, it could be either, actually, I suppose. So 6 down. Something like 6 down. 20 down. 6 letters. Bar closing for April. Stagger home. Poor kid. I mean, it must be. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's really well worded again. Right. I mean, look at how well the bar closing for April makes you think that it's a pub that's sort of closing down for April. Or maybe April is a lady who went to the pub, I'm not sure, and then staggers home. But the way this works in terms of the grammar is bar here means except. So except for the closing letter of the word April, which is L, stagger. If you lurch, you stagger. So except for that L, that will give you urch, U-R-C-H. And if you're home, you're in. Urchin, a poor kid. We were very lucky there because we had the checking letters. Let's try 28. We're sort of gradually making our way anti-clockwise round the grid. 5 letters. Encouragement for one horse coming from the rear. encouragement for one. For one is an expression which might mean for example. So e.g. nudge. Yeah, there is a... Okay. Done is a type of horse. I think it's like a brown horse or something. It's only a phrase you know from cryptic crosswords. So it's e.g. done, coming from the rear, so reversed, to give nudge. And if you give someone a nudge, you give them a bit of encouragement. Let's check done. I'm not changing the answer. So a horse of dun colour. I've remembered that remarkably well. Let's see if this is bud or bid or bad. 26 down, three letters. Tape with name cut off. Yeah. So here, we need to know that N is an abbreviation for name. So the way it works is we think of a word for tape, and that is a 4-letter word with an N in it, and we're going to cut that name out, and the whole thing means off. So look how cleverly that's worded, because it's hard for us to read this clue and read cut and off as separate. So cut is part of the recipe, off is the definition. If food is off, it's bad. I'm trying not to sneeze. It's hay fever season. I've managed it. So there we go. So bad is going to be correct there. Now what's this then? Something Adam and Eve? 433. Notice a Homo sapiens evolves, losing half its ancestry. I mean, it must be Adam and Eve. I don't know why yet. Adam and Eve. Notice is an ad, as in an advert. A will be just the letter A. Homo sapiens, man, evolves, losing half. Homo sapiens, Adam. Well, I'm trying to get the D. How's that working? Notice a Homo sapiens no, evolves is going to be develops. Yeah, develops, loses half. I thought it was half of evolves, but that didn't make sense to me. So if something evolves, it develops. Half of the word develops is D-E-V-E. So that explains the wordplay. And the definition is its ancestry, question mark. Which I guess is a little reference to the fact that I guess for some people Adam and Eve might not be necessarily the ancestry of the Homo sapiens species, man's original. I mean, it's a Christian tradition, isn't it? As opposed to, I mean, no doubt other religions are available with different origin stories. So Adam and Eve is explainable. Now 19 across, 4 letters ending in M, film would fit. Partners concern when video changes hands. Yes, lovely. Lovely. So, what do you think the answer is here? What do you think the definition is? And here, the whole key to this is the phrase changing hands. If something changes hands, you've got a left hand and a right hand, and L and R are abbreviations for left and right. So if you change hands in a cryptic crossword land, you're going to change an L for an R or an R for an L. Now, a video is a film. And if we change the L to an R, we get firm. And a firm, you get a firm of partners, don't you? Like, I mean, many of the accountancy firms are made up of partners. So firm is going to be the answer there. Now let's do 16 down before we come back to this 4 down thingy. So 16 down, 4-5. Career over walk in remote regions. It's something space, because walk is to pace. I don't know quite what it is yet then. Career over walk. Deep space. All Star Trek fans should get that one. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, if you career somewhere, you speed there, don't you? And that turns over. So we get deeps. And then to walk is to pace. And deep space would certainly be a remote region or remote regions. Now, can we get this without looking ever at the clue? The answer is no. The answer is no, I think. I haven't got it anyway. Let's have a look at 10 across. Dud brew in concocted. That screams anagram. Considerably overblown. Wind burned or something? Wind burned. If you're overblown. That feels right, doesn't it? I think that's right. And look, oh, we don't. This, I bet you, this is why Chloe had an error. It's because this is going to be some lunacy word. I don't think there's anything else in here. There's no other piece of vocabulary that looks monstrous. This looks monstrous. Illegal act. I mean, let's just have a quick think. Is there any way any of these checking letters are wrong? I don't think so. Okay, illegal act. I condemn. Involves kicking superstar. Oh, Bruce Lee? He was very good at kicking things. That feels wrong. That feels totally wrong. Bruce involves a kicking superstar. Galactico. Oh my god, that could be right. A Galactico is like in the Real Madrid's team that had sort of Beckham and Zidane in it. That was full of Galacticos. Oh no, it's a hidden. Oh no. Oh, fair play. Okay, that got me. That got me. I mean, that's so bad. It's so bad, but it's so clever. I mean, it's a great example of clue writing, frankly. I mean, how can I've read that clue about 4 times, and I never saw that inside illegal act I condemn is spelt out the answer that I had to write in. G-A-L-A-C-T, Galactico. So the phrase illegal act I condemn it includes the word that means the kicking superstar, the Galactico. That's very nice. It's a very, very nice puzzle. And oh, designate. That's the one. I've forgotten designate. Okay, but the ending's been confirmed. I think we'll go for it, shall we? Let's look up Desi and see if that is in there. No, it's not, you see. Ooh. Okay. I'm not going to change my answer. I'm going to get the puzzle wrong. I'm just trying to see whether I can think of a different beginning here. Authentically. I can't. Let's submit without leaderboard. Let's see if I've got this wrong. No, it's right. It's right. So maybe Desi is sort of slightly more modern slang or something. Or have I not understood the clue? That's possible as well. Spiciness must be tang. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the comments. But that is the puzzle solved. Very nice puzzle, James. Beautifully worded clues. Really beautifully worded clues. And redolent for me. of former times, former happy times. Thank you for putting Ronnie Corbett in your grid. Now let's have a quick go at a quick go. We'll try and have a quick go at the cryptic at full speed, and let's see if we can do a little bit more justice. All right, grilling or being fried, possibly. I have no idea. Club record with vocoder. What? Disco? Probably. Uncle and boys act out something at a kid's party. That is I can't see it. Bobbins. This is by Jalna, by the way. Filth. Look. Phil's Platzer almost. Square entirely. Squalor. It must be squalor. I don't quite know why, but I feel it's squalor. A passage lacking a key is aisle. In favour of, forbid. Well organised European suppressing a US revolt. Well organised. Don't know. What's this then? Grilling. Oh, it's an anagram. Debriefing? Probably is. Let's go back to that one then. European. Well organised. Don't know. What was this one? Oh, the kids' party. Something at a kids' party. Bouncy castle. Okay, so this one is ouch, I think. Exasperating book containing anger and spite primarily. Tiresome is the answer. Tome around the outside of something. Male writers such as J.R.R. Tolkien or DBC. Nom de guerre, nom de plume. Don't know. Try not to sneeze. Savoury taste, umami. It's a hidden. Man of letters, maybe. That's quite nice, isn't it? Man of letters. Continue working after wicked. Live on? Live up? Continue. I think live on feels right. Piece of felt alongside cards laid on a table. What? I don't know. Well organised. European suppressing a US revolt. What? I don't. Why can't I just write that in? I'm such an idiot. A hidden store of money. Hidden cash. Yeah, it's a homophone. Principle of harmonious design. Feng Shui, I would think. Feng Shui. Quit a job. Resigned or agreed to a new. Re-signed. If you re-signed, you agreed to a new contract. Grass and concrete beneath church. Cereal? Yeah, real. Allah, I think. Don't say I've changed. It may be scary to behold. That's an anagram. Which I haven't got. Someone who is unkind, that is to say, below average. A meanie. Air warns about non-existent place nowhere. Double whiskey in metal receptacle. Twin. Video nasty. That's going to be correct, isn't it? Devotion and compassion holding true at the end. Pity, piety. In a higher position, atop. Oh dear, a piece of. Oh, is it talon? It might be a hidden that. And then this one is what? Well organised. Revolt. Is debriefing wrong? No. Well organised. Europeans suppressed a US. Neato or something? Neat. Nauseate? Revolt, nauseate. Yeah, gosh, that's difficult. That's a very good clue, that 5 down. And correct. And terrible. Absolutely terrible. No excuse at all. Chloe redeems herself from the error in the main crossword with a 2-minute time there. That is sickly good. There's John Delphin, 7-time winner of the American crossword tournament. I might even be underplaying John's achievements by only listing 7 there. But Jalna, that was a very nice puzzle, and there we go. That is today's puzzles solved for you. Thank you very much if you're still here. Let me know in the comments how your own solving's going and how it's developing. I hope these videos are useful, and yeah, let me know in the comments how you're getting on. We enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.